Hey everybody, it is Rick. Time for the January pickups, and we're probably into June by the time this video releases. Better late than never, right? Finally getting back on board with doing pickup videos like I promised, and I have lots to do. So January pickups, this stuff I bought 4 months ago. I'm recording this May 22nd, so I bought this stuff 4+ months ago. I have notes on some of it, which will make my life easier, but not on all of it. So first off, we have a stack of CDs, guys. So this first stack says Goodwill CDs. I made notes, actually, I remembered. So we have Fall Out Boy, Infinity on High. I think this might be my first Fall Out Boy CD. This from 07, has This Ain't a Scene, It's an Arms Race, Thanks for the Memories. So I saw these guys at the Hell Mega Tour last summer. They put on a great show. So I figured, why not try to get a few of their CDs and add them to my phone. Next up, a Greatest Hits CD. This features a bonus disc, ska acoustic, but a band that I'm a fan of, Real Big Fish. Like I said, this being a Greatest Hits, a Best of Us for the Rest of Us. I'll play on a Festivus for the Rest of Us. And it has a acoustic CD, which I wasn't expecting Real Big Fish to put out acoustic music. So this is a really cool CD. My dad had this when I was younger, and I mentioned this in a recent review video. Nebworth, this is not the Oasis concert. This is a concert from, I believe it was the late 80s, early 90s. This CD features Tears for Fears, double CD, Robert Plant, Genesis, The Who. Nope. Is The Who not on here? It's a weird collection of stuff Genesis did. Phil Collins, Eric Clapton, Dire Straits, Elton John, Paul McCartney, and Pink Floyd. So lots of great artists. A 2-disc set. Like I said, I got all these from Goodwill. So knowing my luck, I paid $2.99 for each of these. Probably more than I would have spent for this, but $2.99 for these, definitely a good buy in my opinion. Next up, I have some CDs that I probably normally would not have bought, but at 25 cents a piece from a book sale, I bought them. So first up, we have Fergie the Duchess. The big radio songs are on this album. Fergalicious, Clumsy, London Bridge, Big Girls Don't Cry, Glamorous. So I'll put the radio songs on my phone. This is cool. Collective Soul, what's this called? The 7-Year Itch Greatest Hits. Collective Soul had a lot of good music in the early 90s. What's this say? 94 to 01. So early to mid 90s, they had stuff like Gel and Shine and Run. Lots of one-word songs. So Collective Soul Greatest Hits. I've heard some of this band's newer music. I believe it's a 2-person band. I'm a big fan of what I heard. This is their 2014 album, self-entitled, and that is Royal Blood. Let me know if you guys listen to Royal Blood. Like I said, I've heard some of their newer music and really was a fan of it. So for a quarter, I figured, why not? Marilyn Manson, Mechanical Animals. Not one of my favorite Marilyn Manson albums, but for a quarter, and all this stuff was in really good shape. I figured, why not add this to the collection? This one I took a shot on because I don't know if I know any of these songs except for one. But it's Charlie XCX, and the album's called Sucker. It has the song Boom Clap, which I've heard, but I don't know about any of our other music, and for a quarter, I figured, why not just take a shot. This was cool. This is a fun group to listen to. I kind of wish I would have seen these guys live, because they look like they put on a really fun show. And that is the Hives, and the album is called Tyrannosaurus Hives. Their Hate to Say I Told You So was their big song, and that was all Veni Vidi Vicious, if I'm not mistaken. So this has Walk Idiot Walk, which was also a radio single of theirs. The title of this album is fitting now. Wasn't so funny back in January when I bought it, but it hits a little close to home, and that is Will Smith's Greatest Hits. Chris Rock is not on this album though, so I got this because I didn't have any of the other Will Smith CDs. I used to own them, but I didn't own them anymore. So there's some Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff stuff. Parents Just Don't Understand, Summertime, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song. But then stuff like Men in Black, Getting Jiggy With It, Miami. That kind of stuff is on here too. So figure why not get a Greatest Hits CD. And then probably the coolest find from the book sale is this. Not just because it's a great, fantastic album, but because it's the bonus version. And that is System of a Down, Toxicity. The bonus version features a limited edition DVD, which is right there. The DVD has some live performances and a music video. And then the standard album. This was an album I listened to a ton. This probably came out in high school. Yeah, I was like a junior, sophomore in high school. This was a CD I listened to a lot. This and their previous album, which I think was self-titled, if I remember correctly. I listened to that a ton too. Big System of a Down fan, and Toxicity. So that was it for the CDs. Next up is part of a massive collection I bought from Mercari. I spent $300 on a collection of WWE Blu-rays. Probably had like 40 titles, 50 titles, and I kept like 12 to 15. If you guys don't know, most WWE Blu-rays are out of print. Some go for insane prices, and what caught my eye about this deal was there was some stuff sealed. There were a few titles that like sell for over $100. So I figured there was more than enough there to recoup the value, and I would get to add a bunch of stuff to my collection / upgrade some DVDs that I had as placeholders. So I'm going to go through and show you guys what I kept from the collection. We have WrestleMania 2019. This one is brand new, factory sealed. This was the last one before pandemic. The first ever women's main event at WrestleMania, where the triple threat between Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda Rousey. I believe this was the year Kofi wrestles Daniel Bryan. Kofi Mania happens. So, spoiler alert for match 3 years ago. So yeah, WrestleMania 2019. Then we got WrestleMania 2020. This was the 2-night version that they did during pandemic. So it was in an empty performance center. They had the AJ Styles Undertaker Boneyard match, the John Cena Firefly Funhouse match with The Fiend. So kept that one. Cool addition. I think this comes with a card. Yeah, Kofi Kingston trading card, which is cool. With the slipcover. And then, of course, 2019, 2020, we got to have the 2021 WrestleMania, which was another 2-night event. Tampa Bay. So, add that to the collection. This also has a Topps trading card in it of Drew McIntyre. And also comes with a digital code. I don't know if the digital code's still good or not. I'll have to check that out. So I will set that there. So yeah, Drew McIntyre trading card, 2-disc set. So the only pay-per-views you guys probably like, I thought you weren't keeping pay-per-views. WrestleMania, I decided I would try to collect those on Blu-ray because it's the big event, but nothing beyond that. And then I kept a bunch of like documentaries and compilations. I'm going to go through them rather quickly. Batista, The Animal Unleashed. I did not own a Batista Blu-ray. Eric Bischoff, Sports Entertainment's most controversial figure. I had read his book back in the day. I'm sure this will have an interesting documentary portion. This was cool when I bought this. This wasn't as neat as when I went through the stuff finally after a few months of owning it. And that is Living on a Razor's Edge, the Scott Hall story. Scott Hall passed away a month and a half ago. So this shot up in value. This was a fairly common Blu-ray. Once he passed away, this was going for like $150. It had dropped in price a bit. Sadly, people try to capitalize on deaths, but I decided, I wanted to keep this in my collection. It was on my wish list, so added that to the collection. NWO The Revolution on Blu-ray also has Scott Hall as well as Hogan and Kevin Nash. 2-disc set. Wasn't a big WCW fan, but I did like a lot of what the NWO did for wrestling. We have The Rock, The Epic Journey of Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Of course I'm going to keep this. I did not own this in the collection. Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania. Didn't own that one in the collection. Beefed up the WWE collection big time. Triple H, Thy Kingdom Come with the slipcover Blu-ray. So, like I said, lots of stuff I didn't own. Pretty cool to add to the collection. This is pretty cool. The Ultimate Warrior, Always Believe, and the Ultimate Warrior Ultimate Collection. Decided to keep those in the collection and add those both on my wish list. So, that is awesome. Next up, the Best of Monday Night Nitro, WCW Volume 2. I love this kind of compilation because it cuts all the stuff I wasn't into. Kind of just goes to the highlights of WCW, which I enjoyed. The History of WWE 50. This looks like an interesting watch, kind of talking about high points in WWE's history. This was put out, what year? 2013. So, yeah. So that's cool. And then probably my favorite find in the whole thing. This went in a bag because this is an incredibly rare Blu-ray. Still came with the booklet too. And that is the Attitude Era Volume 3 unreleased with the Attitude Era's Greatest Matches book. This Blu-ray goes for a lot of money. Three digits in the price of this one. I now have all 3 Attitude Era Blu-rays. And like I said, some of these, if you look some of these up, guys, you would not believe the prices they go for. But I have quite a healthy WWE collection, and this is going to build that up even more. So that was it from the Macari deal. Then I have, let's see here. I have stuff. I have a few Facebook things, a few more Macari things, and then some packages. Let's do the packages first. Here. Sorry, I should have done this ahead of time. So this comes from me, Dollar Tree. I pretty much have stopped buying Dollar Tree titles, but they shipped this back January 4th. It has stayed in the box since then. They always put a nice note in here. Always looking out, Larry and Melissa. If you guys want, follow them on Instagram. If there's stuff from Dollar Tree you're looking for, they do trades. If they have a want list they're looking for. But yeah, so they grabbed me 3 titles, 3 DVDs I was curious about. Break-In 1 and Break-In 2, which were out of print, and then all of a sudden showed up at Dollar Tree, and they weren't out of print anymore. I don't know. So I've never seen these movies. I've heard interesting things. And then the one I was most curious about is Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez in Men at Work. I've never seen this one, but figured why not for $1. And like I said, $3 plus shipping, and they send it. It's padded, nice. And thank you to Larry and Melissa for sending them over. Next up, we have a Groove purchase. I paid $15 for 3 titles. I'm glad I wrote notes on this stuff because this was 4+ months ago. I would not remember. All right. Okay, we'll do it this way. The first title is a movie I've never seen. It was actually in the big deal I bought recently, but Joe Martinez wanted it, and I ended up finding it for a similar price than what I sold it for, so ended up being kind of a wash. And that is Definitely Maybe. I've never seen it. It has Ryan Reynolds, who I love, in it, and Elizabeth Banks, Abigail Breslin, Isla Fisher. So why not add it to the collection and check it out, at least for a one-time watch. This movie looks interesting. I'm just curious about this one, starring Laura Dern and Kristen Stewart, and that is J.T. Leroy. I don't know much more about it. It just has an interesting premise. It caught my eye, so I figured why not. The price was right. And last but not least, another Real Heroes steelbook that I needed. And this one is the Fast and the Furious, which I own the 4K set of. Like I said, trying to get all the Real Heroes sets, steelbooks. I'm getting close. I only need a few more. So, very cool to get that. What do we got here? What's this? Macari, $7. A movie that I solely wanted to check out based on the cast. I gotta stop doing this because this is why I'm out of space. But it is a movie that stars Chris Pine, Margot Robbie, and Chiwetel Ejiofor, and that is Z for Zachariah. They're three great actors, and the movie looks interesting. I will say, I read about this. This looks pretty wild. So Z for Zachariah, grab that one. Next up, these were part of a Macari lot as well. I ended up paying $2 a piece for them. There was one title that I ordered. It was like a lot of, I want to say it was like 15 DVDs. It was like $20 total. Some of the DVDs were thrashed, but there was one title in particular that I'll get to in a second that I bought the lot for because it's an out-of-print DVD. It has an Australian Blu-ray, but I kind of don't like to buy imports personally. It's just me. This movie looked interesting, so I want to check this out. And it is The Insider, starring Al Pacino and Russell Crowe. The person who I bought these from on Macari advertised these as like new. There were discs that were horribly scratched. There was this has broken plastic in it. There were discs that were loose, cases that were destroyed. But this looked interesting. I know this is on Blu-ray, but figured this was worth checking out once and deciding from there if I need to own it on Blu-ray. This was the main reason I wanted the Macari lot. A Paul Thomas Anderson movie I did not yet own, nor have I seen it. I really want to finish his franchise or his filmography. I've been a big fan of most of what I've seen of his, including last year with Licorice Pizza, which I need to get on Blu-ray. This is a movie that stars Philip Baker Hall, John C. Reilly, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Samuel L. Jackson, and that is called Heart 8. Like I said, this is an out-of-print DVD, at least when I bought it, it was. I know there's an Australian Blu-ray of it, but figured why not get the DVD so I could at least own it and check it out. And if I really, really love it, I'll try to get my hands on the Australian Blu-ray. And last but not least, guys, the last two things here I got from a Facebook Marketplace meetup pickup. Paid $2 a piece. And the first one is a horror movie that I remember enjoying quite a bit. Takes place basically on a ski lift the entire time, and that is Frozen, not the one with Elsa and Anna. This one's a bit different. This has wolves and people who get stranded on a ski lift after closing time. And then last but not least, probably the coolest part of the Facebook pickup that I had done, because a lot of the stuff I got was to resell, was a brand new sealed Shout Factory steelbook. I've not seen this movie. Joe Martinez spoke very highly of this one, so that is why it's in my collection right now. Plus the cast is really awesome, but Joe Martinez said I needed to get this, said I needed to watch it, and for $2 to get the steelbook of a Scream Shout Factory, I figured, okay, I'll add it to the collection for that. And that is Streets of Fire, still brand new, factory sealed, this being the 35th anniversary edition steelbook. This movie stars Diane Lane, Rick Moranis, Michael Pare, Amy Madigan. So Joe Martinez spoke highly of this one, so hopefully I enjoy it. And if not, a Shout Factory steelbook for $2, you can't go wrong. That is it, guys. That is everything I picked up in the month of January. Thank you as always for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Check out the description box down below where you can find links to my socials. Also links to my Blu-ray.com profile, my eBay store, my Letterboxd account, my email address, P.O. Box can all be found down below. So thank you for watching. As always, until next time, who's down to movie?